Hi everyone, today we are going to make delicious banana bread with our GoSun Fusion. Okay, so this banana bread does need quite a few ingredients, but in terms of materials that you need to make it, you don't need a whole lot of stuff. Just 2 bowls, one slightly bigger than the other. We'll start with the smaller bowl, and a trusty fork, and a good spatula. So we'll start by combining all the dry ingredients together. We'll combine 1 cup of oats with 2 cups of flour. I'm using bread flour because we are making banana bread. 1 cup. And 2 cups. 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. This is golden flaxseed. And take your fork and mix that all together. All right, so these are the dry ingredients of your banana bread. Let's start on our wet ingredients. So you take your bigger bowl, take your beautiful, ripe, spotted bananas that are getting to the point where you're not quite sure what else you can do with these bananas. They're a bit overripe. These are the perfect bananas to use for your banana bread. And you want 3 small bananas, or you can take 2.5 medium to large bananas. So I'm gonna use 2.5 of these bananas. Just peel them, put them in here. So what do you call a banana that likes to dance? A banana shake. What did the banana lawyer say to his banana client? We'll win this in appeal. And why did the banana not cross the road? Because he was yellow. All right, so you take all these bananas and you smush them all up with your trusty fork. The riper the banana, the more sugars it has. So part of the reason why you want to use really nice ripe bananas is because they will be sweeter and less starchy. So this looks great. I'm gonna take 1 cup of maple syrup. I recommend using a light golden maple syrup because it gives a really beautiful golden color to the banana bread. And maple syrup is really the source of sweetness for this recipe. I'm not gonna use any other kinds of refined sugars. 1/2 cup of avocado oil. I like using avocado oil because it's pretty neutral in flavor and it has some good health properties that go with it. Avocado oil, pretty good stuff. But you can also use something like canola oil if that's what you have on hand. And then we have 1/2 cup of plant-based milk. This particular brand that I'm using now is called Nat Milk, which is a little confusing, but it has Nat Milk and has a picture of a little cow with an X on it. Any kind of plant-based milk will work. I think Nut milk is great, and then I would also recommend oat milk for this recipe because we're using oats in the bread, and so it goes with that flavor profile. And the last wet ingredient is going to be 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're gonna mix all these things up until they're nice and incorporated. I'm going to take just a little tiny dash of salt and add that to my wet ingredients first. Just a tiny dash. Then I'm gonna bring back all of my dry ingredients and I'm gonna mix them in with my wet ingredients. Like so. And I'm going to gently fold them in to incorporate the wet with the dry. Now this recipe is delicious as is. You could bake this in a conventional oven at about 350 degrees for about an hour, and you'd get a delicious banana bread. Or you can use your GoSun, which is what we're gonna do today. And because I like to do variations on my breads, I'm going to add a few nuts to this. This is optional, but a lot of people like nuts in their breads. Pecans or walnuts would work perfectly. I happen to have a few walnuts, so I'm going to add some walnuts to this. So this is 1 heaping half cup of walnuts. And I'm just gonna add them like this and incorporate them into the batter. Great, so now that we have our batter ready to go, we're gonna take our GoSun molds and we're going to spray them with a little bit of canola oil so that the batter doesn't stick to the insides of these molds. I'm just using canola oil, but you can also use avocado oil spray, just any kind of quick spray, little SS. And so I've made this bread and I've forgotten to spray the molds before, and it does come out fine. It doesn't affect the taste at all. This just helps it so that your bread will come out looking a lot prettier, and it makes it a lot easier to clean the molds also after you're done. So now you just want to take this batter and distribute it evenly among the 3 molds. Great, so now take your molds, give them a quick tap to help evenly distribute the batter inside the mold, and then put them in your GoSun tray. Before putting this in to bake in our GoSun, I'm just going to add a few walnuts on top for decoration. I've opened up my GoSun so that it's facing the sun, and I'm ready to put my beautiful banana bread batter in to cook. I'm gonna check it in about 45 minutes to make sure that the wings are still facing the sun and that the banana bread is rising. Let's check on it. Oh my gosh, look how golden brown that looks. You take a nice little cake tester and insert it into the middle, and if it comes out clean, your banana bread is done. This one took an hour and a half. Let's take this inside. And this is our gorgeous banana bread. Look how wonderful they look. Nice and golden brown, evenly baked. There's more. So I'm gonna take the smaller bowl that we had the dry ingredients in, and I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna take my measuring cup that just had all the maple syrup in it. I'm gonna take like 1 heaping cup of this, like so, just a heaping cup. Don't worry too much about measuring it. And I'm gonna put this to the side of my smaller bowl. And you're gonna see what we're gonna do with this. We're gonna make it chocolate-tastic. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 1/3 cup of mini chocolate chips. And we're gonna stir that until it's incorporated. Now we're ready to put these into the tray molds. So you wanna distribute that evenly along your 3 baking pans here. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some more chocolate chips on top, just on the very tippity top here. The wonderful thing about these molds is that they fit this tray perfectly, so you're really maximizing your cooking space, but they also sell other trays on Amazon on things like little tin trays that you can use. The volume isn't quite the same, so I like these better. All right, so we're ready to get cooking. Let's take these outside. Okay, we've set up our GoSun so it's facing the sun. We're putting in our banana bread, and now we wait. I'll check on it in about 45 minutes to make sure that it's still facing the sun and see how the bread is doing. So I have my cake tester here, and we're going to test this banana bread and see if it's ready. So you insert it, and if it comes out clean, that means it's ready. It's been about an hour and a half, and I think my banana bread's ready. Let's take it out and see. After an hour and a half in the sun, oh, you can see all that steam coming out. The banana bread is ready. It looks really good. Look at all that steam. So I do recommend popping these out of the mold and putting them on a rack about 5 minutes after you take them out of the GoSun, because they'll have a lot of steam and moisture trapped inside of them still, and this will help them release the steam so that your banana bread does not become soggy. Thanks for watching my video about banana bread. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. This banana bread is great for breakfast, a snack, or just because.